Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into one specific source. It's a story called The Lantern in the Fog. And our mission really is to unpack it, to pull out the core ideas, the wisdom in there about finding your way.
And dealing with fear. That's a big part.
Exactly. Navigating that fear that just seems to cloud things up. So the story starts with Elara. She's in this small coastal town, Greyhaven.
She's 25, feels totally stuck.
Right, adrift. And kind of crushed by what everyone else thinks she should be doing. But it all kicks off when she sees this faint light out in the fog one evening. That's the start of her journey.
And that starting point, it feels very real, doesn't it? Her life at 25 is all about being practical. She's a clerk. And the story says, that's what her parents push for. Stability. Makes sense in that kind of town, I guess.
Sure, the safe route. But then you immediately get this contrast with her childhood self.
Oh, yeah. The fearless kid sketching the cliffs, dreaming of being an artist.
Those dreams just got pushed aside, right? You hear those voices, art, that won't pay the bills.
Get a real job. Classic stuff.
So yeah, the sketches get hidden away. She conforms.
And you can feel it, can't you? That sense that something vital is missing. She's doing the right thing, but
it's hollow.
Exactly. And then comes the fog, literally. Thick autumn fog, and she spots this glow near the cliffs.
And she follows it, which, given how lost she feels, that's already something, isn't it? Choosing the unknown.
It really is. Curiosity, maybe desperation, pulls her forward.
Where does it lead?
To the old lighthouse. Abandoned. The description's great creaky door, spiral stairs.
Yeah.
Like stepping back in time.
Okay.
And there, just hanging on the stair railing, is this lantern. Glowing softly. But nobody's there.
Wow, just the light, waiting.
Yeah. It's this powerful image, right? A light in the dark seems like it's for her, but she's totally alone with it.
A path is lit, but you got to walk it yourself.
Precisely. So she climbs up and finds this old dusty logbook.
Ah, a logbook.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
This is where she meets Mara. Well, her words anyway. The former keeper.
Yeah.
Beautiful handwriting, apparently.
Okay.
And Mara's entries, they're talking about this life of purpose. Even though she was alone, it wasn't easy, but it mattered. And the very first entry Elara reads just hits home hard.
The one about the fog, I remember that bit. What was the exact wording again?
It says, "The fog comes for us all, but it is not the fog that blinds us. It is our fear of the unknown. To light the way, you must first light your own heart."
It's not the fog that blinds us, it's our fear.
Wow. That just flips the whole script, doesn't it?
Totally. The obstacle isn't out there, it's in here.
So how did Elara take that? Did it just click?
Well, she looks at the lantern, the actual light, and feels this little spark. Hope, maybe. But then the doubt floods in. She looks out at the fog, thick as anything, and thinks, light my own heart. How? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
I'm just Elara, I'm not brave like Mara.
It shows how strong that inner critic is.
Oh, absolutely. You can see the wisdom, but feeling capable of living it, that's different.
Exactly. But something makes her go back. The story says she felt compelled.
And the logbook isn't done with her.
Not at all. Next night, new entry. Mara doesn't mess around.
What's the next message?
It's Ela. The storm does not ask if you are ready. It comes, and when it does, you must choose. Hide or shine.
Light or shine. Wow, that's direct. No gray area.
None. It forces a decision.
And how did Elara connect that to her own situation?
Right away, she realizes, I've been hiding. Playing it safe. Safe, but miserable.
Yeah.
The storm isn't just literal weather. It's life's challenges, right? The moments that test you. And the choice is simple, conceptually at least. Retreat or step up.
Step into your own power, even if it feels tiny.
And that leads to the physical action.
She takes the lantern.
Yes. Trembling, the story says. Yeah. Steps out into the fog, walks towards the cliff edge. The light's small, only shows a few feet ahead.
But it's enough.
It's enough. And that trembling step, that's everything. It's not about waiting for clarity or confidence.
No.
It's the act of choosing to move, choosing to shine, even while scared, even while uncertain.
And the result, how did it feel?
Alive. The story says she felt truly alive for the first time in years. That's what courage gets you, right? That jolt of aliveness.
Yeah. So she keeps going back, and the logbook keeps prompting her.
Yeah, asking these big questions. There's one in particular about potential.
Let me guess. What would you do if you knew you could not fail?
That's the one. The classic fear bypass question.
So what did Elara see when she let herself answer that?
Painting. just completely free, lost in our art.
Yeah.
No voices, no expectations, just creation.
Wow.
But the story's realistic here. It notes that Vision felt so far away from her current life.
Right. The dream is vivid, but the path there looks impossible.
Exactly. The bridge seems way too long.
Which is often when you need, like, a nudge from the outside world.
Precisely. And that's the customer at the store.
Yeah. The clerk job she still has.
Mm-hmm. And this older woman, Kind Eyes, notices Elara doodling on a receipt. Just a little thing.
But significant.
Totally. The woman compliments her, asks why she doesn't show her work. The killer question.
And Elara gives the standard reply.
Oh, it's just a hobby. We've all said it, right?
Diminishing the thing that brings us joy.
But the customer comes back with something perfect, especially after Mara's words. She says, hobbies are what we do for joy. Don't let joy stay small.
Don't let joy stay small. I love that. That must have landed differently now.
Oh, definitely. Because she'd already started that internal work at the lighthouse, this external validation. It just clicked, gave her that extra bit of courage.
So what's the next trembling step after that boost?
She actually does it. She brings her old sketchbook back to the lighthouse.
Finally.
Yeah. And under the lantern's glow, she starts to draw again.
What does she draw? Is it mentioned?
A stormy sea. Big waves crashing, but with a single light cutting through it all.
Symbolic.
Very. But the real shift, the source points out, is her mindset. She wasn't caught up in whether it was good enough. Not anymore. The only thing that mattered was that she was creating it, that it existed. The focus moved from judgment to just doing it, bringing it out.
That's huge. Moving from external validation to internal satisfaction.
Exactly. And then Mara, through the logbook, issues the final challenge, taking that private act public.
Okay, what was the wording?
Simple, direct. Share your light with the world, even if it trembles.
Even if it trembles. Acknowledging the fear is still there.
Yeah, the fear is real. Putting your heart, your art out there. Terrifying.
You open yourself up to judgment, to confirming your worst fears about not being good enough.
Absolutely. Her stomach's churning, all those old anxieties bubble up.
Yeah.
But the lantern, that symbol of her own courage, it kind of nudges her forward.
It's the ultimate test then. Trust the light enough to share it.
Mm-hmm. And she does it. She signs up for the town's harvest festival, frames her sketches.
Oh, wow. Imagine standing there behind a table, your heart just pounding out of your chest, watching people walk by.
Yeah, the moment of truth. Will they see the light, or will they just laugh? Confirm all those fears.
But they don't.
No, the reactions are, well, they're lovely. A fisherman buys a sketch of the cliffs, says it reminds him of home. A kid calls the stormy sea drawing like magic.
That must have felt amazing. Did she sell much?
She sold about half her sketches, which is great. But the story makes it clear that wasn't the real win.
What was?
Being seen. Not as Elara the clerk, the dutiful daughter, but as Elara the artist.
Oh.
It was like her inner light finally broke through that fog of her own doubt and the town's expectations. It was visible.
So, the last night she goes to the lighthouse, the logbook is blank.
Yeah. Mission accomplished, Mara's guidance did its job.
It's Elara's story now.
Exactly. And the source says she writes on that blank page her own words.
What does she write?
I am enough. My light is enough. And it will keep shining no matter the storm.
Wow. That's powerful. Such a declaration.
It really is. Claiming her worth, her path, her resilience is the whole journey summed up right there.
The realization that the light wasn't in the lighthouse ultimately.
No, it was in her all along.
Yeah.
She just needed the courage to find it, light it, and then share it.
So the story wraps up years later. What became of Elara? Did she hit the big time?
It's nicely understated. Her art is shown in galleries, yes, beyond Greyhaven, but it emphasizes she wasn't necessarily wealthy, but rich in purpose, fulfilled. And the lighthouse, it's silent. Its work is done.
A symbol of the beginning.
Exactly. And the lesson she carries, the big takeaway, is that fog, whether it's fear, doubt, other people's ideas, it can obscure things, make you feel lost.
No, that doesn't put out your light.
Exactly. You always have the power to light your own way, one step at a time, even a trembling one.
Okay, so let's bring us right back to you, listening now.
Yeah.
Elara's story, it really hammers home this idea. Fear, self-doubt, it's just fog.
It feels blinding, makes everything seem impossible, but it doesn't actually change your potential that's still there underneath.
And the key move, based on this story, isn't waiting for the fog to lift or for the fear to vanish completely.
Yeah, definitely not. It's about taking those small, maybe scary steps towards what matters to you, even when you can only see a little bit ahead.
Elara didn't see the gallery from the lighthouse steps. She just saw the lantern, then the logbook, then her pencil.
One thing at a time. And that idea of trusting your inner light, what does that really mean in practice?
Well, it seems like it's about recognizing those things that are uniquely your passions, your talents, your quirks, and then choosing to act on them.
Even if they seem small or imperfect, like Alara's first sketches weren't masterpieces, maybe.
Right. But that light, your unique spark, it's enough to start. It is your starting point.
And the story really highlights the resilience you build just by choosing to shine, even when you're scared. Purpose wasn't some endpoint for Elara.
No, it was in the doing, the trying, the creating, the sharing, even when her hands were shaking.
That's where the richness came from.
So think about your own dreams, your own sense of self. Maybe they feel like lanterns hidden away somewhere.
Yeah, maybe obscured by your own fog of doubt or by what you think others expect of you.
The world might not see that light right away. But taking just one brave, trembling step, whatever that looks like for you.
Picking up the pen, making the call, signing up for the class, sharing that idea.
That's how you start cutting through your fog, that one step.
And remember that core message, the one Elara finally wrote down for herself. You are enough right now.
Your light is enough. It doesn't have to be a spotlight right away.
And your story. It's yours to write, not fear's story, not anyone else's. Yours. One courageous step after another.
Which brings us to a final thought, something to maybe mull over, drawing from Elara and Mara. If the storm doesn't wait until you feel ready, and if the fog only feels blinding because of fear, what's just one small step, maybe even a trembling one, that you could take today to start lighting your own way?